Okay, before we do anything else, I want you to place your hand over your heart right now. Go ahead, do it. Physically feel the rhythm of your stress. Now, on a scale from 0 to 10, with 0 being completely zen and 10 being a full blown panic attack, where is your anxiety sitting right now? Got your number? Okay, hold on to it. We're going to come back to that. Welcome to today's explainer. So, listen to this. If your resting heart rate is sitting above 60 beats per minute, your body is effectively running a marathon while you're just sitting still. Crazy, right? It's what we call the fitness audit. That common 60 to 80 normal range you always hear about? Yeah, that's actually a sign you might be biologically stressed out. Today, we're diving into a science-backed toolkit to conquer anxiety, lower that heart rate, and stop overthinking in its tracks. We aren't just talking about feeling better, we're looking at the exact biological mechanisms to take back control of your own biology. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll be covering your brain's false alarms, calming your body first, grounding your nervous system, fear versus excitement, and finally, stopping nighttime recent thoughts. Let's get right to it. Section 1, your brain's false alarms, understanding the trap. I want to validate your experience right out of the gate here. If you've ever been in the middle of severe anxiety or a panic attack and someone had the nerve to tell you to just calm down, you know exactly how infuriating that is. Because trying to logically calm your mind during a panic attack, it's like trying to stop a speeding freight train by tossing a tiny boulder on the tracks. It doesn't work, and honestly, it just causes a disaster. Here's why logic fails you in those moments. Anxiety is simply a well-meaning survival mechanism that is misfiring from the deep animalistic part of your brain. Your brain perceives a threat. Maybe it's an intimidating work presentation or a big social event, and it reacts as if a literal tiger just jumped out of the bushes. It triggers your fight, flight, or freeze response, pumping you full of cortisol and adrenaline. Your analytical brain completely shuts down because, historically speaking, you don't need to overthink a tiger, right? You just need to run. And that brings us to the real hero of our explainer today, the parasympathetic response. Simply put, this is the calming, restoring part of your nervous system. It's the biological brake pedal to that fight or flight gas pedal. The ultimate biological goal of everything we're covering today is to train your body to become parasympathetically dominant. That is exactly what allows calm individuals to maintain that coveted sub-60 resting heart rate we talked about earlier. Section 2. Calm your body first. The bottom-up rescue. Now, what's really interesting about this is that because we literally cannot think our way to calm while the analytical brain is shut down, we have to use a bottom-up rescue. We have to start with the physical body. Enter the physiological sigh, which has been heavily researched by neuroscientists like Dr. Andrew Huberman. When you're stressed, you want to use a 4-second calibration. Here's how it works. Inhale deeply for 4 seconds through the nose. This reinflates the tiny collapsed sacs in your lungs. Then you follow that with a long, slow exhale through the mouth. That long exhale is hyper-effective at offloading carbon dioxide from your bloodstream. It eases your racing thoughts and physically forces your nervous system to relax, almost instantly. Okay, here is another incredibly simple and frankly surprising physical hack you can use. Keep your eyeballs still. Just pick a single spot on the wall or your desk and lock your eyes right onto it. This is a brilliant little hack drawn from EMDR therapy. You see, your brain actually requires side-to-side eye movements to process memories and keep those anxious thought loops running. By forcing your eyes to remain completely still, you essentially interrupt the brain's ability to continue its spiraling anxious thoughts. It's honestly wild how well this works. Moving on to Section 3, grounding your nervous system, sensory anchors. Grounding is the ultimate method for sending a direct, undeniable message of safety to your brain. It forces it out of those future worries and anchors it right here in the present moment. Because let's be real, in general, your present moment is actually totally safe. We just need to remind your brain of that fact. And the absolute best way to do this is a sensory countdown. The next time you feel overwhelmed, look around and name 5 things you can see. Really notice their details. Then, physically touch 4 things around you, noting their texture or temperature. Listen for 3 distinct sounds. Identify 2 things you can smell. And finally, name 1 emotion you're currently feeling. This simple countdown demands so much sensory processing power that it pulls your brain completely out of that fight or flight loop and right back into your safe physical reality. Section 4. Fear versus excitement. The top-down reframe. So, now that our physical body is calm from those bottom-up hacks, we can finally re-engage the brain and use a top-down mental hack. And this is a massive biological truth that usually blows people's minds. The physical symptoms of fear and excitement are completely identical, literally. Your heart races, you sweat, your stomach gets that weird pit in it, and you get a huge surge of cortisol. The physical state of your body is exactly the same whether you are terrified of giving a presentation or thrilled to be riding a massive roller coaster. The only difference, it's the label your brain assigns to that physical state: danger versus readiness. And this brilliantly illustrates our next powerful tool, as summed up perfectly by Mel Robbins. Fear and excitement are the exact same physical state. The only difference is what your brain calls it. Because these states are physically identical, you can use this biological loophole to your absolute advantage. You don't have to try and force yourself to be calm when your heart is racing, which, as we already know, just doesn't work. Instead, you just have to trick your brain into changing the label from fear to excitement. Here is exactly how you do that. Step 1. When you feel that panic rising, count backwards: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This simple action literally interrupts the fear loop and awakens your prefrontal cortex, which is the logical part of your brain. Step 2. Immediately insert a positive anchor thought related to the event. For example, if you're terrified of getting on a flight, your anchor thought could be a vivid, happy image of walking on the beach at your destination. When you do this, your brain goes, "Oh, okay, my heart is racing, but I'm thinking about the beach. I must be excited, not afraid." It reframes your entire physical state in a matter of seconds. Let's move to section 5, stopping nighttime racing thoughts, preventative maintenance. Let's see how all of this builds into tackling probably the most frustrating anxiety of all: insomnia and nighttime racing thoughts. I mean, we all know the feeling, right? Having a huge day ahead, desperately needing sleep, but your mind just kicks into overdrive. Seriously, why does your brain suddenly decide to bring up every single mistake you made today, or every worst-case scenario about tomorrow, the exact second your head hits the pillow? Well, it turns out your brain is just doing its job. It's trying to tie up loose ends and ensure your survival. But why at 2 a.m.? Simple, because it doesn't trust you to process these thoughts during the day. Think of your brain like your smartphone. All day long, you keep yourself constantly distracted, right? Scrolling on social media, listening to music, working nonstop. You are essentially hitting "remind me later" on all your annoying mental software updates. So when you finally lie in bed in the quiet dark, your brain says, "Aha, finally no distractions, time to force the update." And it just dumps all those unprocessed worries on you at once. It's incredibly frustrating, but it's really just trying to run the updates you kept avoiding. So to stop nighttime anxiety, you actually have to do preventative maintenance during the day, because nighttime calm actually starts at 2 p.m., not 2 a.m. First, eliminate those mindless distractions. Give your brain little pockets of silence to process things while you're actually awake. Second, literally schedule a specific worry time. Tell your brain, "Hey, we will worry about this at 5 p.m. And third, do a 5-minute brain dump on a piece of paper right before bed. Just write it all down. This proves to your brain that you are handling your worries, so it doesn't need to nag you when you're just trying to get some sleep. So the crucial point is this: if you do wake up anxious, it's usually because your brain is caught in a mindset of scarcity. It's holding on to the anxious belief that there isn't enough, not enough time, not enough money, or not enough safety. The absolute best way to turn off that nighttime fight or flight response is to shift your focus to abundance. Just lie in bed and silently list everything you are grateful for: a warm bed, running water, a roof over your head. This literally changes your brain's perception of reality. It signals safety, and it allows your natural sleep drive to finally kick in. All right, we've covered a massive amount of ground today. Now, I want you to use that check-in scaling one more time. On a scale of 0 to 10, where is your anxiety sitting right now? If you've been practicing these tools along with us, there is a very good chance you're measuring a victorious downward trend. Remember, your brain isn't broken, it's just trying to protect you. By practicing these tools to achieve habitual calm just twice a day, you actively train your nervous system to stay parasympathetically dominant. So which tool will you use the next time your brain sounds a false alarm? Pick one, practice it, and take your power back. Train your heart to work less so you have more energy for the things that actually matter. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.